45. Let's see what we got here.
Who's the greatest president of the greatest country?
Oh boy. Oh, we already did that one. Okay, give us another one.
Have you ever thought about not making me do that?
77.
I mean, all you have to do is tell them no.
Okay.
Move on to the next person.
This is an interesting question. So, if your character had to multi-class into some other class that they currently are next time they leveled up, what would it be and why?
Well, without that caveat, I was going to say I already have. I've done the rare triple bard.
That's true. That's true. Well, for hypothetical sake, if you multi-class into yet another thing.
Tinker.
Okay. Why?
Because everybody like can afford it all, but nobody can afford the upkeep. So you see all these like kids, or maybe they don't care, but all the little kids have like really bad dolls that I see at the circus. I mean, they love them and you could tell they're well loved, but like if I was a little more skilled, I could maybe like fix all the dolls in the world for all the children, and then they could all become puppets too and join my circus army.
Yeah, I knew where that was going.
Alright. Alright, bras, moms, what would you guys be doing?
Mine is tied.
Okay.
So
Thinker.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to decide.
Alright, well, what is your tie between? What are you between?
For on one side it would be either like it would be like a fighter barbarian class
Okay.
because Ma's rage, and I think she'd just like going up and punching things.
Fair.
That seems very Ma's.
Okay. And what's the other one?
It seems the more obvious one, which is cleric
Hmm.
of the
Ronka.
great Ronka.
Fair.
Can you imagine the healing powers of Ronka?
Right? Can you imagine her spiritual weapon?
It's just a rock.
It'd be a
It's just a really big rock.
It'd be like a giant floating rock, basically. Or like a golem.
So much. Maybe like you're, or so isn't there like a one is like a spirit guardian or something too, like a spell like that? It's like usually like an animal or something. It could be a rock monster.
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go.
I did consider asking you how to multi-class at one point, but then I never did.
Mm-hmm. All right, Raz.
Okay, my answer's kind of boring. And I actually feel like I kind of, by extension of Scorch, gotten to do this. It hasn't even to do with bras. I've always just found Barbarian to be a very interesting class, and I've always wanted to do it because, yeah, I just think being able to like and like freak out and just punch shit just
both goblins just want to rage.
As
despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage.
It's just Barbarian is very opposite of who I am as a human. Like, so I've just always been very drawn to it.
It's what you feel deep inside. The screams.
Yes, but not ever expressed outwardly.
Man, now I really want to make like a tabaxi barbarian to rage.
We'll finish this campaign and then it'll just be like an entire party of barbarians. Just scream, smash. It's all everything.
Yeah, I'm
in.
excited to get to explore this with Scorch.
But I want to do it. I want to do that concept in the module that's you're at like fucking Hogwarts.
Hell yeah.
Which one's that one? That sounds familiar.
There's a wizard school
Is there?
campaign. Yeah.
Hold on, I want to see what that's called. That sounds familiar.
But that's really fun.
And whenever I see that campaign, I always think, like, I'm sure it's got stuff to work around it, but I always thought it would be silly to, like, go in with a full melee group to wizard school.
Sometimes you just gotta go with the unconventional.
Yeah.
Coming up immediately with that kind of search. But all right, that's fine. I'll look it up later. Okay, so does anybody remember what we got up to last time around here?
We came to
yeah.
Willow Tide.
We did.
We made a new friend.
Yes.
We did.
Is it Murray? Like Murray or?
It's Myrrie.
Okay.
So yeah, it is Murray, just with a Y.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I was saying the name right. I felt like I might have butchered it last time. And we were basically there 5 seconds and had to fight some bullshit.
Yeah, there was some starving giant Venus flytrap type plant business because all of the this welt
Oh,
stuff.
and we found out that they're also having like Zolgath issues.
Yeah, there was people have seen tracks around from strange lizard beasts. There's been issues with stuff getting here across the land.
And the reason the trade is so good is because all of the farmland has died, and so they have to buy their stuff from like vendors that come from overseas, and it's causing a whole bunch of families to have to move out.
Yep. I got some problems. And then we also had, like, we did look around the town a little bit with Murray, and just like a lot of the land around here, there's just not a lot of plant life going on in the town. Everybody just seems kind of, sluggish in a way. Like there's still people out and about doing stuff, but they all kind of seem like they're conserving their energy as much as they can. It feels kind of slow paced.
Bryce, there's no vegetables here.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
I don't know if you're aware.
It's a
okay.
horror campaign now! There's no vegetables!
It's okay. I can on the side. My half of our wagon or whatever is just like floor to ceiling canned vegetables. And then your side is rocks, I'm guessing.
Yeah, they were gonna say like your half of the wagon is just
Man,
dirt.
that poor wagon is very heavy.
I know, right?
Oh, jeez. All right, so we came here, we looked around a bit. We had things have got started with the setup of the circus out on the west side of town. So we have a few days to kind of get more acquainted with the area and maybe do a little bit of promotion around the town to get hype up for that. So you guys have all headed back to the circus, taken a rest and all. Everybody, give me a will save.
Whoa.
Sir, it's a little early in the campaign.
And that'll be my best roll of the night.
All right. So let's see here. You don't. So, Scorch doesn't speak, obviously.
He does to me.
He does to you. What does Scorch say to you?
That's private.
Fair. So the rest of you, you have a fairly normal night. Um, Scorch seems to be having some kind of nightmares. You're not sure what about. Has it's a little difficult to ask.
Probably
Um,
PTSD from his Friar Tuck incident.
but yeah, but you do notice that he seems to have kind of a rough night of it. He keeps waking up and acting like scared and just like sad doggo noises.
Aww.
But yeah, you're not entirely sure what to make of it. Um, so while you guys are out here, um, with the circus folk kind of getting things set up in the morning, you see a trio of folks coming out of the town and heading your way, and they kind of sidle on up to the group here, and you see they're three kind of fairly young men. Like the oldest of them looks to be maybe in his late 20s, and the other two, maybe in their early 20s or so. And the oldest looking one is kind of striding up at the head of them and sees you all here and walks up and is like, "Well, I see we have some new folks in town here. What brings you all to Willowside?" And he kind of, as he kind of walks up, you guys have got like your carts and your various like things around. He just kind of walks up and just kind of perches one of his feet up on like one of your carts, just kind of out of nowhere. The other two that were with him as well also just kind of go sit on your various equipment without really any regard for what it might be.
Hey, get off of that.
We're here just for some clowning around.
Clowning around, huh? All right. What makes you think we need something like that with circus folks around here?
I mean, who doesn't like a good joke? Conker has the best jokes.
Well, the best joke is what you guys are doing about the blight, but we have some good jokes around here too that can probably bring a smile to people's faces. And just FYI, you can check our references. We tend to fix stuff wherever we go, so you never know what problem we might see and solve. Like
Oh yeah,
sometimes,
I've heard about those letters we got from the Swordlands. Big talk. I'm sure you guys have done wonderful stuff. Made some couple people go hee hee ha ha, a little happiness. But I think those are a little over exaggerated, huh? Um,
Who
but
the hell are you?
well, you're in our town now. We're the Banyan Boys. We keep the law around here. We're the law enforcement.
Clearly, you don't do a very good job. Like,
Hey,
we got
our family has
um
been keeping this town safe
we
for
have so
generations.
much experience in law enforcing, not so much in abiding, but in enforcing, yeah.
Pretty much everywhere we go, all you law people are incompetent, so.
I mean,
And you always ask us to fix your problems. Like, what the heck is up with that?
hey, we're not asking you to fix our problems. We don't want you to cause any problems here. We've been keeping this
Yeah,
town
you're
safe
not
for
asking
generations.
it.
so I'll like sidle up to him and I'll say that is incredibly virtuous to keep the town safe for generations. It's something that I think personally you probably aren't shown enough respect for, and like somebody really should do something about it. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I cast Heritable Urge on him.
Okay, what does this do?
It's he makes a will save.
Ooh, okay.
And it just it's ridiculous. It if so the DC, what is it? Charitable Urge, the DC's to 29, and then the varying degrees if he fails or critical fails he wants to be charitable towards me. So that's definitely a critical failure. So it's
Okay,
on
he
his
fails a normal fail.
if it's 29, he's below 10. That's a crit fail.
Well, with it
Whoa, I
with the
don't know his
bonuses. Yeah, with
sorry.
the bonuses.
Okay,
Yeah, with the
regular
bonuses.
fail.
Yeah, it's a regular fail.
is Just he presents the nearest creature. If I'm standing next to him, it presents the nearest creature with an item in his possession. Because I'm speaking on the virtue of charity. And if it really doesn't want to give up that item, it can be, or if the only item it has is its weapon, it can be stunned for a round instead.
Okay. Let's see. So he doesn't have anything particularly notable on him. So yeah, with the pictures that I just sent through here. So this is the three of them. These are the Banyan boys, and the one in the vest with the bow.
The gay one.
Yeah, the really fabulous looking one. That's the older brother. That's Leodric. And then we have Sturvin and Tashlock, the other two brothers, who are also here. Yeah, he doesn't have anything particularly notable, but yeah, he does, like, you seem to have kind of caught him off guard a bit with his kind of bravado. He seems very, obviously from the way he looks here, he's a little bit of a full of himself, ego, macho man kind of guy. But you seem to have kind of caught him in his stride there, and he kind of seems stunned for a moment, and then he's like, "Well, fine, do what you got to do. The Banyan boys will be around. Don't do any strange things, circus folk."
No, we'll stay away from your mom.
And he kind of gives you a little bit of a glare at that, and he kind of calls to like a little whistle to his two brothers here, who kind of pick themselves up off the random circus equipment they were just kind of posted up on, and you can see them kind of
Hey
stride off back
Bryce,
to the
look,
town.
he has doggies too.
My whole entourage starts barking at that.
They all three of them are giving you guys some pretty sour looks at that as they're kind of heading back to on the other side.
Good. I don't like them.
That was pretty good. That was pretty fun.
Team, I think these
Maz,
these
get
folks gotta
add
be
a
some
hero
trouble.
point to your shit that you can just have around the future. That was great.
Oh,
Oh, don't use one here. I'll fix it.
I didn't mean to.
Here,
I can't wait until they come and ask us for help. I'm gonna be such a little shit.
Okay, I got it.
there you go.
I have to go check the food.
Yeah, that's probably
I
finished.
started smelling it.
It's getting close to 30 minutes on the timer anyway. Okay, so in terms of other places around the town to check out, let me get the list up here.
Banyan boys. Now I'm all pissed off about bunions and banyans. And
Bunyan boys. All right,
Remember, they're
so
just boys, not men.
I call them the boys next time I see them. I should have thought of that beforehand. Honker's like sitting there carving Bunyan boys into his hand so he remembers.
Don't worry, you'll get a lot of good quips in on them.
all right, so some places to check out around town here as we're getting familiar. There is the inn, which is called the Hooked Inn. There is the general store, which is kind of right on the central square. There's also the temple on the central square as well. And then, of course, there's you're not sure where it's at, but there's like an Aeon Tower around here somewhere to look into. And then there's also the mayor's office as a place to ask around as well.
We should totally go to the general store. I'm sure that we could find something there.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
All right. So you guys head into town and into the central square here and make your way to the general store. And you head inside and you see that it is staffed by. Right, that's not linking to the proper page. A human woman who looks to be in her 40s or so. We can see her kind of restocking some things on some shelves. Here's a picture of her. You see, just looking around the shop, it seems to have kind of standard range of general store stuff. Um, doesn't seem to have any like equipment at all. But you do see hanging from the ceiling at various locations, and also just on her as well. You see a few of them around her neck, and also just for sale as well, in various little baskets. Around on the shelves is a number of what look like charms, little like necklace charms and like that sort of thing. And she sees you all come in and says, "Oh, hello. Welcome to Catherine's. What can I do for you today? I don't think I've seen you around town before. Are you new?"
Yeah, just got in. We're the circus folk.
"Oh, the circus folk. I'd heard from Mayor Vandy that there was a circus or something coming this way. Did you come on the ship?"
Unfortunately, yes.
"Oh, was it rough seas on the way here?"
Let's just say I'm never going to be a member of the Navy.
Ah, I understand. Well, what can I get for you here today? I assume you're probably getting all busy with the setup and things for your show and whatnot. Is there something you needed?
Well, we were hoping we might be able to put up a flyer um, for our show. We would be willing to offer you a free ticket in exchange. And then also, um, we were looking for what were we need to buy, guys?
You didn't tell me before we came, so I didn't write it down. I'm so sorry.
30 minutes was maybe a little too long.
Hmm. Well, that's okay. Just to fill you in, Riz, on what you missed.
Yep.
Went to the general store.
Okay.
We're talking to her. That's her.
She's cute.
Very cute.
And she doesn't have any like equipment for sale, but she has other general goods stuff. And you notice that there's a lot of like charms hanging from her ceiling and on her, and also for sale.
Does she have any crystal charms or crystal necklaces?
So you go take a look. You see a couple baskets around that seem to have and little stands that seem to have various of these little charm necklaces and bracelets and whatnot. There are definitely some ones with crystals on them.
Maz looks for the biggest crystal necklace that she can find. Not like diamond necklace, like you know what I'm talking about. Like boho girl crystal.
Yeah, woo woo
Yeah.
crystals. Yeah.
Yeah, woo woo crystal.
Yeah, woo woo crystals. Okay, so you most definitely find some ones with crystal. So Santil, she sees you kind of looking through these, and she's like, "Oh, needing some charms, are you? I guess that's probably for the best. I mean, you guys are new here."
We travel a lot and encounter a lot of weirdos.
Comes with the territory.
Well, they're always good to keep the bad spirits away. Certainly sell this one to you for just a silver.
Sure, I'll take it.
All right, so you hand her over a silver, and you have your little crystal necklace here that you put on. She also, your mention of like the being able to put up like some posters or something and give her a free ticket. She is definitely amenable to that. There does look to be a board kind of up near the front door of the general store that seems to have various kind of neighborhood postings on it. Um, and she says you can certainly put one up there. Like a lot of people, around here, she does. Like a lot of people around here, like everybody seems a little bit tired, but they all seem very excited when they hear about the circus. Well, almost everybody. The Banyan boys didn't seem too fond on you guys, but besides
We
them,
win them over.
yeah, besides them, pretty much everybody else, at mentions of there being circus or some kind of entertainment, seems pretty stoked about this. So she is more than happy to kind of help get the word out, and especially if that gets her a free seat. So that's pretty cool.
Do you make these charms yourself, or where do you get them?
I do, yes. It's something I always like to do in my free time, and it's always nice to have. It's always good to keep things, keep the bad things away from you, keep the good vibes going. And so I always started making these little crafts, and people liked them, and it seemed to help. So now I just kind of sell them in my store as well.
I did like rocks, and this one is very pretty.
Well, thank you. I like rocks as well.
I mean, who does? Rocks are great.
Do you happen to have anything that helps with hair growth?
Hair growth. Yes, I might have some tonics or tinctures around here that might help with something like that. And she kind of goes and looks around and, manages to come back and finds it's like a little bottle that you see there's a label on it. It seems a little like faded. Like it might have been here for a bit. But claims to be some hair tonic.
Perfect. I'll take all of the ones you have.
All of them. Well, goodness, I don't have too many of them left, but I guess if you want this I had a whole carton of them in the back. Um, Probably just a silver for all of those. Usually they're only a copper or two each.
I also take all the hair tonics.
All right.
I'm gonna give Scorch such good head pats later.
That's so kind of you. That's just beautiful, Maz.
That is really great.
Porch is really gonna appreciate that so much.
It's the least I can do for my nephew.
Touching. Does she have any charms that are like moon shaped?
There are definitely some ones that are moon-shaped among all of these as well.
Well, I will take two because wolves like to howl at the moon. So one for me, and then I'll put one on Scorch's collar.
Nice. All right. Yep, same as the other ones. They all seem to be just like a single silver. All right. Have your little moon bracelets or collar danglies.
All right.
Honker, did you need to
um,
buy anything?
well, I was wondering because we go a lot of places, and one thing we look for is old ruins. Like one thing that's a favorite of mine is towers. Do you know of any old towers
Oh
around
yeah,
here that are kind
Honker
of
just loves a good tower.
love a
Can't
tower?
get
I get
enough
on
of
top
them.
of them and I say I'm on top of the tower.
All right.
But yeah,
So
Gotta keep an eye on them though, so it doesn't get too close to the edge and fall off.
So she thinks for a moment here, and she says, "Well, now that I think of it, there is a tower called the Marshstone Tower, and I believe it's a ways to the south of town. But I've never seen it myself, actually. You might want to maybe ask the mayor about that. She might know more."
the mayor. Okay, is she in her office doing mayor stuff?
Most likely, yes. The mayor would probably know more, and possibly the priestess at the temple, Tritala. I mean, she was also the town's historian for a long, long time, and is pretty knowledgeable on that subject. But either of them would
Ooh,
probably know more about it than me.
okay. We'll probably go to the mayor. Every time I go to the priest, they get mad at me because I'm not anatomically correct. And
Yeah,
then
they call
they
him like
get
an
angry.
abnomination or something, and I don't even know what that word means.
Really upsetting, and I wish they would just like leave Honker alone. Like Honker's perfect.
You are certainly an interesting person. I've never seen one like you before. Were you? I mean, forgive me if this is rude, but were you carved? You look like you were made out of wood. Did someone craft you? That's very interesting.
Yeah, believe it or not, fun fact, if you believe hard enough, a toy can come to life. Or sometimes, like if there's trauma involved, my owner's father was murdered, and then I came to be. Yada yada yada. Some drunken monk found me, and here I am, clowning around.
It's my favorite bedtime story.
It's me every time.
That is certainly fascinating. I mean, I do a lot of crafts and handiwork, as you can see, but I've never seen something quite like that. That's certainly unique.
Guys,
Oh
we
no, I'm not unique. See? And then I do my scream, and I
oh god.
bend over, and the Matryoshka uh, entourage comes out on me.
Do you think we'll ever go to a town and meet somebody and not immediately overshare and trauma dump on them?
No.
I mean, it's a
I
really good thing
thought I'd
that it's
ask.
a really good thing that Honker just kind of has that passive that people think his antics are normal. So,
Yeah, because like I have no boundary,
Is
and
that
like
the real
no,
reason why none of the party is ever like offended by what Honker does?
yeah,
We're
pretty
all just
much.
under his spell.
Thank God, or I would be absolutely terrified
I
of
don't want to
Honker.
deal with that.
To be fair, I genuinely don't think Maz would care everything Honker does. She's just like, that's Honker.
Yeah, that probably goes for the entire party. I think all of you are definitely more on the phrase of like, huh, okay. But at least in terms of the regular townsfolk, that they're a little more under the whatever that particular feat was.
Each and every day we get more into it just being normal versus being under that.
All right. Was there any other business you guys had here at the store where you headed out to whatever else you were gonna poke into?
I mean, I could probably buy a lot of shit here, but you know what? We'll be here a while.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
preparing for fights yet.
That's fair. That's
I
fair.
mean, I just can vegetables. I don't have a very high living expense.
uh the
Okay,
struggle meals.
can I tangent just for 1 second about
Okay.
okay, so I think the real reason why I got so pissed off at the Banyan Boys is I realized the entire time I was picturing and hearing Kuno from Disco Elysium in my head.
Oh God.
Yeah, and so every time that leader spoke, all I wanted to do was like punch him in the face.
Oh man. All right. So you guys finish up business here, and Santiel kind of waves you on your way as you guys head out the door, and you guys are back in the kind of main square here. You do see, there's the temple off to the, kind of directly across the square from you guys, and then the kind of town hall is to the south end of the square.
Well, guys, do we want to go talk to the mayor and risk getting new tasks, or do we want to go talk to the priestess who also will probably need us to do something at the Aeon Tower?
Well, it seems like
Let
a task is inevitable, so whatever y'all want to do.
yeah, I lean towards the mayor.
Okay. All right. So,
Wait, on the way to the mayor's office, is there any like random little alley?
yeah, there's definitely like little alleys in between the buildings around this town. Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna go into one of the alleys, and on the wall, right, the Banyan boys smell farts.
Oh, that's great.
Really don't like them.
Sticking it to the man,
You can't just come into the circus and just put your feet on our stuff.
right?
Right?
That's gross and unhygienic.
We should have told them that there were snakes in there.
We have a fucking snake in our circus.
I know.
Why don't we utilize that snake more?
Because he's
Mr.
just
Tickles is
he's
so
just
sweet.
Mr. Tickles.
Juju boy.
You only use him in times of dire emergency.
I don't even really hang out with Mr. Tickles anymore because I got a pet, and now I feel bad because I just realized that.
So you guys head down to the town hall here, and head on inside. There's a few people around, but it doesn't seem like it's particularly busy at all. And kind of a older gentleman behind the desk sees you all come in and says, "Oh, hello! You must be the new circus folks I heard about coming into town. Coming to see the mayor?"
That we are.
Well, go ahead and head right in. She's just down the hall.
Okay, thanks.
He kind of motions down the hallway behind him here, and you head down and you see, kind of in short order, there's a door open on the right to a decently large office, and you see Mayor Vandy here behind her desk. Seems to be kind of in the middle working on something, but she sees you all walk in, looks up, says, "Oh, hello. How goes the preparations for the entertainment?"
Well, we just started unpacking this morning, so hopefully in at least a couple days, maybe a week.
Good, good. Well, that's good to hear. Was there something in particular you needed?
Well, we like to know the history about places where we perform because sometimes we incorporate it into the show. Most of what I do is comedy, like this, and then I'm a Torska, and then continue, and if nothing happened,
Of course.
then I say, and so we were just curious if there was any old runes or anything around here. We asked Santil down there, and despite that pouty face she's got, she didn't have any knowledge of any runes. But she said to come talk to you or a priestess, and I'm not a fan of priestesses, so we're here.
Hmm.
Yeah, churches give him hives.
Goodness.
Which is really weird because I'm made of wood and I shouldn't be able to get hives, and I can't really ask anybody but a priest about it. And well, it's a cycle.
Really terrifying.
Damn.
Didn't we also have a letter for her?
You did, yes. You have like a letter of introduction from her nephew.
Okay. We were also here because we got this letter for you from Mr. Vandy.
Oh, from my nephew. Thank you. And she kind of pops open the seal here and looks over it and kind of reading through it all here. And she says, "Well, goodness, you certainly seem to have helped my nephew out quite a bit down there. A little bit more than just circus folks alone. My goodness."
Yeah, and he thought that we should come here next.
Oh, did he have any say any particular reason why? I mean, we're grateful for the entertainment. I'm sure he's heard of our troubles, but
To be honest, I don't remember what he said. I wasn't really listening when he was talking.
well, that is fair. That is fine. Well, we are glad to have you, though. I mean, as you've seen, the things are a little difficult around here, but we're trying to keep our spirits up, and having something like this around town to kind of take people's minds off their troubles, I think that will certainly help quite a lot.
Well, like, I think the troubles are why your nephew wanted us to come in the first place. Like, we heard that lizard men were being seen, and like we have a lot of experience with lizard men, and then on top of that, like, your land is pretty like shot, and this wouldn't be the first place we've been where like the ground wouldn't grow anything. So
Well, that's all very nice to hear, but let's try to focus on the more positive things right now. Like we do have all these problems going on. Yes, it's true. But let's focus on the show and keeping things positive and uplifting around here. We don't want anybody to get too down.
isn't ignoring the problem just gonna make it worse?
Well, I mean, we're not ignoring the problem. We don't want to talk about it too much. It's
Yet
bad.
that's called ignoring it. I thought you were the mayor. Like, aren't you supposed to like protect towns and make sure your people are happy? They're not happy.
Well, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to lift their spirits and keep a positive atmosphere around the town.
Well, can we do that and also solve the problem?
What happens when the people stop caring about the positive attitude and just want their problems to be fixed? Like, you got families that are leaving their houses because they can't afford to live here anymore. Like, that's kind of bull crap. I lost my house and that shit sucked.
Yes, as I said, there are problems going on, but we need to keep things on the up around here. And I mean, let's focus on the show before we go running off into the dangerous wilds and whatever is out there. We have more important matters at hand. Keeping the spirits of this place up, and 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 smiles all around.
Maz
One
turns to
time,
Braz and whispers just maybe a little too loudly, I thought politicians were supposed to be smart.
Common misconception. And I eat some pickles.
All right, so
Man, we're just not making friends in this.
Hey, I didn't come here to make friends. I came here to
Maz is like really sassy tonight. No idea why.
We really need Grotus. Grotus grounds us.
Yeah, I think Maz like really gets away from me when Grotus is gone because he just says such absurd things I don't have a chance to really think.
When Grotus is not here, we have to fill in the nonsense. We may not have a great handle on toning it down.
so she, and it's this little conversation, and you guys bringing up this like tower ruins that you heard vaguely about from Santil. She's like, I mean, if you must look into information about these things, I mean, I would ask that you please do so after your show. But you may want to speak to the hunter Gristern Vrick. I believe you were already slightly acquainted with him from our journey back from the docks yesterday. But he's one of the few who really still goes out in the wild, so he might know more information about that. But if you're looking for more history for the town for your show or something like that, I mean the Priestess Tratala, of course, is a renowned historian of the town. She probably knows the most about that.
getting
I'm
sucked in
sorry,
on
Honker.
priest stuff again. Every time.
Maybe there's something we can put on you that will make it so you don't get hives.
Maybe. We could oil me up and see what happens.
Maybe Honker should have gotten a protective charm at Santil's.
Oh.
guess we'll have to go to the priestess then.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys head out of the town hall, and the kind of main temple, at least the one that seems to get all the activity, is directly to the east of the town hall, at the south end of the square there. Temple of Aristil. And you see this is a pretty decently large building. It's got these nice heavy beams, solid construction. And you see an elderly human woman who's out on the front steps. And she's kind of greeting people as they come and go, doing their little daily devotions and things. I can give you a picture of her where she looks probably a little more angry than I think she should be, but
I mean, she looks like a nun.
She's definitely gonna give Hunker hives.
Yep.
If only
Maybe
Grotus
just
was
maintain,
here, he
like-
could try and seduce her.
Or just maintain 6 feet of distance.
there you go. Yeah, you gotta socially distance with the clergy.
If it works for respiratory illnesses, it might work for hives.
It might, yeah. All right, so you head over here, and this elderly woman, she kind of sees you all coming up the stairs, and she's like, "Oh, hello. Welcome to the Temple of Aristil. I don't believe I've seen you around our town before. Are you followers?"
We're new in town. We're the circus.
"Oh, the circus. Oh, I do so love a good bit of show and a story. Oh, it is so good to have you all here. I am very much looking forward to all of the town being able to come out and see. I think it will bring a lot of joy."
And horror, but you're gonna love it. Guaranteed.
Well, I'm certain it can't be any more horrible than the tales we hear of things out in the wilds, so, I mean, if it's a good story, I'm all for it.
Yeah, we've heard some stories for sure about the wilds lately.
Yes, I heard there was, when you were coming into town with the group from the docks the other day, there was some business in the woods that uh, had to be fought off.
Yep, sure did, but we were able to fight it.
Well, that is good to hear. I'm glad you all were able to get here safe. But what brings you over here to the Temple of Aristil today? Is there anything? Have you worshipped with Aristil before? Do you need any assistance?
No, we were really coming to find out more about the history of the place. Because, to be honest, everybody seems pretty cagey. And I understand that this is a temple here, but it's pissing me off.
At your mention of like wanting to know more about the history, you see her eyes kind of light up a bit, and she's like, "Oh, the history, yes. Oh, I mean, if you would like to come in and sit down for a moment, I can certainly spin you a tale. It is one of my favorite subjects. Oh, I do love to go on. The children always love to get me distracted with these stories to get out of their other chores." And you see her already kind of like, you guys haven't responded that you guys want to come in and sit down and hear all of this, but she's already like heading inside. She's ready to chat.
Cool, I guess we're gonna go to story time.
All right, so you head inside the building here. Hunker, you do not get hives. You're still feeling all right, albeit maybe a little emotionally uncomfortable. But
Get oil first.
but you head in, and you see in here there's a few kind of places around the chapel here, little kind of shrines and things, and people are doing little prayers or offering little devotions and such. She kind of takes you off to like a little side area that has more of a table that people could sit around instead of pews that are all facing one direction. And she says, "So, uh, is there something in particular you wanted to know about Willowside, or just the general gist?"
Well, tell us about like the history and then maybe about any ancient towers and what's going on with the blight.
Like
I mean, there's
significant
so many questions.
landmarks.
Yeah,
Ah, the tower. Yes.
individuals.
So if the tower is, most people know it as the Marshstone Tower, but there haven't been a lot of people that have really gone out and seen it, especially since the Welt. I haven't actually seen it myself either. It's a ways to the southwest of town, um, but with things getting a little more dangerous in recent years, and I've never really been much of a traveler. I'm a little too bookish for that. Of course, getting out and about isn't really my thing. I prefer to read about the things that are out there. Uh, but sh- the tower, there's surprisingly not quite as much detail about it. I mean, I know it's part of a set of towers, other ones that are around here on the Isle of Cortos, and uh, I believe there's some to the north as well on the island. But they all spring from the god of Eroden, who supposedly raised them, many eons ago to bless the land and make it fruitful, and it brought all sorts of abundance and things like that. Um, but in recent years, people haven't really gone out there, and as far as I'm aware, I believe it's just a bit of an old ruin now. I mean, we do have the Temple of Eroden here in Willowside on the other side of the square, and I do tours over there sometimes, but it's mainly more of just historical interest. There haven't been as many Eridan worshippers anymore, and so, probably related to that, there aren't really people pilgrimaging out to the tower much anymore, especially now with how dangerous things have gotten out there.
I mean, has anyone ever considered that the blight is because there's something wrong with the tower that's supposed to be blessing the land?
I mean, is there something that's supposed to be blessing the land with the towers? I've never actually been out to it. I mean, you all were just in the Swordlands, right? I know there's a few down there. Did you see any towers there in your travels?
Yeah, we've been to a few of them now.
Oh, that is most interesting. Was there anything that you discovered there, or did people still visit them down there?
No, no one visits them down there. Most of them are in ruins, but everywhere that we visited was cursed with bad things going on. And it's because there was something bad that happened at the tower.
What about the tower was cursed? Is it not just a tower of stones?
Well, no, it's 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 magic.
Oh, that I did not know. What sort of magic uh, does it have about it? Is it just the stones themselves?
Well, no, like anyone can use the tower with enough magic. That's the problem. Anyone can use the tower.
Well, what are they using in the tower? Is it a tool? What is there?
There's a
Maz is
stone,
like really intentionally not trying to talk about this.
and like Honker does not get that at all. So he's like, there's magic stones there.
Oh, Well, I don't. Like what sort of powers? Like what sort of power do they have? Are they supposed to be like giving crops and? I mean, that's what I always have heard about the towers in the books. They were, blessing the land with fruitfulness Is there supposed to be something coming out of them? Some kind of magic flow, or?
I mean, none of us are really that magic, so it's hard for us to really understand it. But all the towers, like you said in your story, were blessed by Aerodin, and so every tower has a connection to the land, and they're supposed to bless the land, but anyone can use it, so they have an effect over the land if they don't have good intentions.
Hmm. Well, I don't. I mean, I've never seen anything of that sort from, that direction of the land. Um, hmm. I wonder if something is wrong with our tower. I mean, it's not something I ever really thought to look into at all. I mean, nobody really worshipped there. Thought it was just an artifact from a previous age, as it were.
How
It's
long
not.
has the blight been going on?
Let's see. So let's see. Let me find here. I know I have something about this. So with you might bring up the blight, and she's like, "Well, it all started several years ago, really. There was, the blight, which we call the welt. It supposedly originated on the western edge of Dunmire, which is the area around here, and gradually spread into the forest that used to be uh, a bit more of our namesake of the town around the area. I mean, we are called Willowside after all, but you don't really see many willows with all of their dangling gracious leaves anymore. But the forest all around us used to be all willows, but they have much dried up with the blight. The wild forest, the farmlands, all of it has all been kind of eaten up by this kind of wasting away of the nutrients of the land, it seems. So we have to barely get by with fishing and foraging and what little bit of farming we can still get out. But otherwise, it's all just through the docks. Uh, and as time has gone on, I mean, it's gotten. In the past, it was mostly out on the far western edge of the countryside here. But in the ensuing years, it seems to advance over time, and it's gotten closer and closer to the point where even here in Willowside, we're all pretty much all in the Welt as well, which is why the land looks so parched and the plants seem to have difficulty around here, and that's made things even worse. Because in a lot of the farms you may have seen on your travels into town, there's the farms all around the town, and many of those aren't able to do as much as they could in the past. So that's dried up that bit of livelihood for those families, and of course for trade as well. It's just gotten a little sadder every year, and so more and more people seem to leave. Each ship that docks, the food that comes in is starting to become like all that we have. And then there's always seems to be another family or two that seems to be heading out for brighter shores.
That's very terrible.
Has anyone tried to figure out where the welt came from? Because we were trying to talk to your mayor about it, and she just didn't even want to talk to us about it.
Let's see here. I'm looking through this little history thing here.
Bet you didn't expect me to ask so many questions.
So she kind of thinks for a moment here and says, "Well, I mean, to be frank, like I said, since it started, fairly far away from the cities and towns and the farmland around here, it didn't really become a concern until probably the past couple years. We figured, oh, if it's out in the wilds where things are a bit dangerous, anyways. I mean, we could still keep going on and do what we needed to do, but as it advanced, well, then it became a little more concerning. But things also had already become more dangerous, and so you may have heard of the difficulties in traders getting here by land because they had to travel through the Welt, and so they were getting attacked or other strange things happening to them, and so we've been limited to just the ships. And so, with all of the danger out there, well, we haven't really wanted to go too far out there ourselves. I mean, the citizenry here, I mean, we are, we do like our pleasures in life, music and gambling and coin and whatnot. And so, I mean, with all of the distractions that we more of used to have before things kind of turned sour, it just wasn't something we really had to worry about. And now we're a bit in the thick of it.
Well, I think it's given us at least some stuff to investigate, and maybe we can see what we can do about the well. They say that laughter is the best medicine, and if that doesn't work, you bleed it.
Well, I'm not certain how much blood you're going to get out of the welt. It's already dried the land as it is. But you can certainly try a laugh. I mean, anything's worth a shot. I mean, if you are able to find anything, I mean, the town would certainly be grateful, I'm sure. I mean, you've seen how heavy it hangs on the people around here, even in the short time you've been here.
It is a pretty terrible thing, but I think we'll be able to do something about it. Just you do your best to keep people happy. We'll do our best to keep people happy. You know,
Oh, that certainly sounds good to me. Was there anything else you wanted to ask about?
I don't think so. Oh, what about them Bunyan boys? They seem like they might cause some problems for us. Are they kind of harmless, or are we gonna need to turn them into the guards?
So she kind of chuckles a little bit and says, "Ha, oh, the Banyan boys. They do try their best. I mean, they are the law enforcement around here, and I can't really say we have too many troubles on the law front these days. But they do their best. They're a little full of themselves, Leodoric especially. But they're fairly harmless. They're good boys. Their family has been around for many generations, and they've long been the law enforcement of this town. And they're just the latest crop of the Banyan family.
Oh, they're real guards?
Well,
I
yes.
didn't even realize. I thought they were like trying to shake us down earlier. Huh. I would have been the same amount of polite if I would have known they were real guards, but maybe they should get
Oh,
uniforms or something.
I
Like that one
realized
is
that they were real guards, but I just assumed they were like still assholes anyway.
yeah, no, I absolutely didn't.
I don't like
Um,
any cops, so
All right.
This party is an ACAB party.
no, it's just like anytime someone catches on fire, they immediately like, oh, it must be the fire eater, and it's just I don't have time for these false accusations.
Yeah, I mean, what is it? Someone that looks exactly like you setting fires? No.
I have not set anything on fire unintentionally in a very long time.
Oh, I was hinting towards the fact that Maz looks like her, and also can set
You're
fire.
the arson. There's no arson. I don't know where this came from. But
It was ya.
bros just don't like the law.
Anyway, before I say anything else,
Right. All right. Let's see. Was there anybody else aside from the Banyan boys?
No.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, she you have no other questions. She lets you know. Well, I mean, if you have anything else you ever come across and wish to know about, feel free to ask. I'm usually around here, or sometimes the other temple across the square, if people are wanting a bit of a historical tour. But I'll probably be around here.
Cool. We'll remember that. We'll come tell you when we fixed everything. Then you can worship us because we fixed things. You ever see a god fix things?
Well, God does work in mysterious ways, in all the little ways that He helps us.
Yeah. Like they bring us. You could say we're sent by God or something, probably. You might in the future. Just remember me.
Well, if it turns out that you do something so wonderful for the town, I'm sure we won't be able to forget. All right, so you head out of the Temple of Aristil here. Are you wanting to do any impromptu performances here in the town for drumming up anticipation?
Oh, 100% of the time. Honker's always drumming up performance, so yes, sir.
Okay.
yeah, I Maz had an idea.
Yeah, fire away.
The priestess mentioned that the people here like their vices and mentioned specifically gambling.
Mm.
So Maz kind of wanna Maz kind of wants to do like some sleight of hand stuff where like kind of like the like follow the ball kind of shit,
Right.
but like make people pay a small fee in order to try it.
Okay, so like you have the rest of you doing like little performance stuff, and you're kind of off to the side doing a hustle.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, all right, all right.
Oh no, I'm not performing. I am discreetly going into alleys and writing mean things about the Banyan boys.
Okay, so all right, so we got Braz committing vandalism. We've got Maz doing hustling. Honker, what new horrors are you unleashing on the town for
Okay, so
anticipatory excitement?
most
Quick was way
definitely,
too ready.
like this is like Honker's leading the whole show with the skin stitch thing, like on top of it, and it's like, you know, walking down the street as Honker's juggling and I think I have right, yeah, I do. So like using magics to make like laughters and pinch people and whatnot.
All right, all right. Let's see. Go ahead and roll a performance check for me. Well, that certainly passes.
God damn.
Whew.
It's
I
like
mean,
look, I'm a one-trick pony, but I've leaned well into it.
True. All right, so with that roll, let's see. That would be a critical success, generate anticipation equal to twice the sum of your level, so 24 plus your charisma modifier, so 29 anticipation. Nice. All right, and then for you, Maz, you're doing your little side hustle here with your cups and whatever other sleight of hand business.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me a performance check for your anticipation generation.
Wait, that was the perception. Hold on.
Nice. All right. So, you're over here doing this on the sign, and, people are definitely excited about it. All of this, like, circus promotion you're doing here in town, like, people are very interested in this. You can see their faces kind of light up a bit when you guys start doing your little business. Except for Braz, nobody notices you. You're off in the, off in the wings doing vandalism.
I love that you're just letting me be a vandal and you didn't make me roll anything.
I probably should.
No, you already let it go. We're not jinxing this.
I mean, it could be a pretty low DC, anyways. But let's see. Yeah, go ahead and roll me if that's stealth. Why not? Okay, you're still fine.
Stealth, the thing that I'm really good at.
You're still good. You managed to get away with your petty vandalism.
Yeah, I'm a really good vandal. I'm not an arsonist. I'm a vandal.
Not an arsonist. There are
Vandal
witnesses. We have
that
alibis.
fires. Vandal first. Fire starter second.
Starting fires is my career. Please.
So yeah, both of you. Let's see. Oh yeah, with yours. See, you said you were 38. That's also a critical success. So you would be 24 plus 4, 28. Okay. Okay.
I was gonna just not say anything about not having to roll, but then I was like secretly hoping maybe I'd roll bad and we'd have some funny consequences. But that didn't happen either.
Yep. Too sneaky. Too good at what you do.
Even with the big wolf by you, so sneaky.
But sound is this small little goblin.
Yeah, Scorch is a portable, obscuring device.
And people look away because
Depending on how tall Scorch is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, I'm like, in this alleyway, and people are walking over there, Scorch just, stand here. And like behind him, just scribbling on the walls.
And Scorch didn't wear his wig today, and so people are just like, you know what? I don't want to address the wolf with the weird cut.
Just like, poor guy. Wonder what happened to him.
I'm not gonna ask though, because that would be offensive.
Right.
Also, he's a wolf. He can't talk.
All right. So with your kind of initial little performances here, just those alone, you've generated 56 anticipation with that. So that's pretty cool. And just so we kind of have it out of the way, we might as well do the other, which is kind of preppy stuff. We're not going to do the circus thing tonight because we'll do that next time when Gross is here. But we can at least do the little prep stuff and get that.
No, Grotus is going to want to try and get himself killed in the name of performance.
Right, exactly. Let's see. So, all right. So advertising. All right. So currently we're at 56 anticipation. There's a variety of advertising we can get here. And there currently is, a little bit of a boost in terms of the anticipation you'll get from these, just because of, people are really excited about there being circus here. I mean, like with your little promotion, like everybody who came and watched, Like they are hyped. They are so happy to have something to look at and pay attention to aside from everything else going on. So you get a little boost from that, and of course, Mayor Vandy has also been kind of talking you guys up from the stuff she heard from her nephew. So
Well, she's got to hype us up because she's in denial about everything else.
So this is the. If you scroll down a bit, there's the table of the advertisement cost here. There's going to be a little bit extra anticipation on top of what it says there in the chart because of existing bonuses. But how much advertising are we wanting to post up around?
I don't know. What do you guys think? I got like a shit ton of money, so like.
Oh yeah, Moz has a lot of money
I don't buy literally
for
anything.
completely legal, legitimate reasons.
Right. There are also the circus upgrades too. We'll do that. Just so you know, there are some other stuff to put cash towards. So I mean, last time we did the show, at the end of the show, you had 123 excitement, and you also had 123 anticipation because you also generate the anticipation from like critical successes and stuff. So you're already at 56 from where you're at. So if you take into account that there is going to be some anticipation generation during the show itself, don't feel like you have to go super nuts with the advertising because you got to have some space because you don't want to over anticipate.
Right. I don't know. I always get confused with all the mathing in this.
It's better to have more like excitement than it is more anticipation.
Yeah.
In the long run.
Yeah. So yeah, a successful show means you have more excitement at the end of the show than you do anticipation because people were hyped, and then you exceeded their hype, and so it was success. Last time we did the show, you guys got a critical success show, which was mean you had the exact same amount of anticipation as excitement. But if you have less excitement than anticipation, then you don't really get as much of a payout because people were overhyped and your show didn't live up to it.
Okay.
So you want to have at least like some anticipation built up already, but not too much that you can't feel like you can't get over it.
Yeah, and then we also get like anticipation during the show, right?
Yeah, like there's like when you guys get critical successes on your tricks, that generates excitement and anticipation instead of just excitement because you kind of raised the stakes a little higher. The little in between acts music playing stuff that Honker usually does, that raises anticipation.
Okay. Do we just want to do like a tier 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Okay, I got that.
Okay. Go ahead and take that out. I'll add that in. So you guys get your various flyers together from your circus equipment, and post a few more up around town, around on the various sides of buildings and poles and public notice boards that you guys can find.
That's important.
A couple next to some of my Banyan boys messages. Because you gotta try both messages.
Right. Okay, and in terms of upgrades, let me see, which ones do we already have? I already have those.
We do already have a lot of good ones. We've invested some money in ourselves.
You have. I'm seeing if there's any that we don't have that we have access to. 'Cause there's a couple things we don't have, but it's because our prestige is not high enough yet. But I think
You best know that Maz is gonna be security for our show because she wants to make sure those fucking Banyan boys.
all right. Yeah, so it looks like in terms of permanent upgrades, at the moment we have all the ones that we have access to. But there are still the temporary upgrades.
What we got for temporaries?
So we got beer,
Yeah.
confections, disposable binoculars, basic merchandise, quality merchandise, and extraordinary merchandise. I think if I remember right, the extraordinary merch that carried over something from last time.
Well, this being a town that likes their vices, we should probably do beer for sure.
Oh, and there is, with all that you've heard about the, like the food troubles that people have had around here, there is a bonus to the confections, because that is food.
Okay. I vote confections and beer. Does anybody else have any input?
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got beer, got confections. All right, are we wanting any merch? So the merch, that carries over some excitement from the previous show.
Okay. How much is it?
If you're doing the most quality merch, it's 60 GP.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'll pay for that.
Okay. Let me see. That carried over some. Let's see.
I don't think you understand how much money this party has.
We literally don't buy shit.
Yeah. And I'm not really a money micromanaging type of DM.
Well, I mean, I think all of us honestly pay for shit. It's just we never buy anything.
When we do, it's always cheap stuff.
It's always potions and bullshit items.
We never buy anything because we stole it all.
I mean, Maz would, but
No,
Fair.
I buy vegetables and then I can them, and then I don't have to keep buying food.
That's fair.
and also I think we usually forget that healing potions exist.
Well, you and I are both like really good. Like, I think we have really high like medic things, like we're like battle medicine and stuff. So we don't do a lot of potions.
Yeah.
So while you guys are kind of doing more of this circus prep both around town and at your camp out there, at one point you are approached by Grister and Vrick the hunter that you guys had run into on the road and saved, because he'd gotten caught by the fly traps.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Yep. Yet another Sam character.
It sounds like a lot like Sam.
Sam in another game.
Oh, hey, dude.
So he comes up and sees you all here and is like, "Well, it seems like your setup is going well. I just wanted to stop by and well, thank you all for your assistance on the road the other day. You really saved my hide out there, and well, the other folks too."
No problem. It's kind of our thing.
It's what we do.
We didn't choose that life, but
It was forced upon us multiple times without our direct consent.
cannot stress enough how much it was forced upon us.
The hands of fate.
Or, incompetent law.
So he, after kind of thanking you for what you guys, all did yesterday, um, he kind of looks at you all and says, "So everything has been going fine out here on the edge of town. You haven't run into any other strange business from the old woods, have you?"
Not yet. We're
Well, that's
looking
good.
to.
Hoping to. Oh, goodness. Why?
That's kind of what we do. We do circus stuff. That's the side stuff. Then we go do other weird stuff.
I mean, we offered the mayor to try and look into some of the stuff that's going on around here, but she just didn't seem to want to listen.
Oh, about all of the dangers in the wilds and the welt and all that. Yeah, she does try to keep things up on the positive around town, which I understand. I mean, it's good to keep the people's spirits up, but I mean, I see it a lot more than most. I go out in the wilds and try to hunt what little is left out there, but uh, it is hard. It is a lot to take in. I can understand why some people have been leaving.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably hard to keep your money around here if you have to buy everything.
Yes, I mean there has been a lot of money in the town in the past, so people are still seem to be decently well off in that regard. But and there are a few things we can still make and do even with all of the blight going on that we can trade through the ships. But well, I mean, especially my profession as a hunter out here in the woods. I mean, everything's starving. Us, sometimes we go a little more hungry than we would like. The creatures out in the woods, much the same way. Either they have passed away already or gotten eaten by something else that was hungrier, or, you know, perhaps ourselves as we hunted them and did that, but it's certainly thinned out.
Do you know anything about the Marshstone Tower? Have you ever been in that area?
The tower. That's a little ways away from town, but I have been over there before. It's been a few years since I've been out that way. Uh, but yeah, I've been out to the old Marsh Tower. Is there something you're interested in out there? Followers of Eridan?
We've kind of been going around to all the towers, and I guess, have you noticed anything off down there? Like any weirdness that like shouldn't be there?
Hmm. Well, I mean, I can't say that I know a whole lot about what the tower is supposed to be. Anyways, it's kind of from an ancient age, and it's not really something that people go out to anymore. But I mean, the time that I was out there, it was a stone tower of quite a respectable size, and I mean, I didn't really see anything else around. It was just stone and dark, just an old ruin. I didn't really go up in there myself, I must say. I didn't. I know ruins can be sometimes a bit precarious, and there isn't really necessarily going to be the kind of creatures I would look for hunting up in those kind of places. So
Yeah.
unnecessary danger to really go poking around myself. But yes, it was just a plain. Well, I mean, it is a pretty impressive tower, but it was a stone tower. Nothing particularly remarkable that I can recall.
Okay. Have you been in good health since you were almost plant food? Like no zombie plant business going on?
He kind of lifts up, one of his leg and his arm, and you can see like some bandages and stuff on them. He says, "Well, no, I came out of it decently well. I mean, I had a few scrapes and cuts and things, but all limbs are accounted for, and I'm happy with that. So it'll heal in time. Nothing too serious. I'm sure those creatures were just as hungry as everything else out there."
Well, you'll have to come see our show. You can come for free since, we like saved your bacon and all.
Well, that's mighty kind of you. I mean, I'd certainly love to come and see. I mean, I know the mayor has talked quite a bit about the show coming to town, and everybody's looking forward to having something to keep their mind off of things. But yes, I'd certainly love to come by and see what the sort of thing that you do. I don't know that I've ever really been to a proper circus before.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, we're like the best circus around.
Well, that sounds like certainly a wonderful time. I look forward to the show. Do you know when it's going to be? I mean, I see you're still in the process of setting up. How long does it usually take? Do you need any help?
Oh, we got all the help we need, but I don't know, we're hoping like within a week. I don't actually know how
Yeah,
long.
that's usually about how it takes you like a couple days to get things set up. All right. So yeah, he seems pretty happy about this, and looks forward to coming and seeing your show. As he heads out, and you guys are just kind of thinking about the conversations you've had throughout the day here. Everybody roll a. I think what would be best for this. I guess nature check.
I'm a one-trick pony, remember.
Okay. So Braz, you're the only one who kind of thinks this as you're just kind of thinking back over the people you've talked to today. You notice that none of the people you've talked to about the tower mentioned anything about some sort of like orb, like a glowing orb.
Well, yeah, I did notice that because he said it was just a bunch of stones.
Yeah. Because that has been a notable aspect of all of the towers you guys have been to so far. Is they had the Aeon orb, it was rotating around the tower or floating above it, brightly beaming light, a noticeably distant way, and nobody's mentioned this.
That's concerning.
Ooh.
Why do you think none of them mentioned the orbs?
Maybe it's not there anymore. I mean, maybe that's why there's so much going on with the blight here.
Maybe.
I mean, I didn't think anything of it when the priestess person didn't know about it because like it maybe wasn't public knowledge if they'd never been there. But it's weird that he didn't see one.
Indeed.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that.
Something to look into.
God damn it, more quests!
Side quests just keep growing.
I don't know. I mean, that one seems a little more main questy than side quest.
No, we are towns. We are a traveling
Oh,
circus.
yeah.
Everything-
Sorry. Everything, all this stuff Fate's roped you into. That's just some
Yeah, we
shit that
never
happens.
agreed to
Rope-
this.
rope-
Our consent was not asked.
We're not roped into it. It was shoved down our throats.
Yeah, man. All right. So with the you still have a little bit of time before the circus gets set up. Do you want to try to go out into the wilds at all, despite Mayor Vandy recommending you do not yet? Did you want to just spend time getting the circus set up for the next day or so?
I don't think I want to head to the wilds without Grotus.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fair. All right, so
he's our main punchy dude.
Yeah, without Grotus, we're just a bunch of small little things.
just a little troop of small things and
We're just whiny little
a large
guys.
dog. Yeah, you're just a bunch of little guys with your dog that's like 3 times all of your
Haircut.
size.
we can start Scorch's beauty treatments.
There you go. Yeah, you have some time to rub the hair tonic into Scorch's scalp.
God, between that and pickling things, our little wagon must smell so bad.
Oh yeah.
Oh
And all
God.
that stuff.
Oh man. So we'll say for the next like 2 nights, or 2 days, 2 nights. You guys continue helping with the rest of the circus setup. We massage, hair tonic into Scorch's scalp, things like that. Everybody roll me a will save. This one will be for the first night.
I really don't like that we're doing nightly will saves.
Right?
This makes me think there's some fey fuckery going on.
Probably.
All right. So,
I also don't like that I rolled a 2.
all right. So,
Better.
Honker, Braz, you guys have unremarkable nights. Maz,
Ah,
though, this first night, um, you wake up in the morning and you remember having a terrifying dream that made your sleep on this first night here not the best. You dreamed about that you were standing in a field in a hurricane, and the water around you in this field is knee deep on the ground, and it is rising fast. And you just remember like the feeling of like the water rising quickly with all this rain pouring and whipping around you, and you're like, thinking about how you're not very tall, and
What's is afraid of drowning?
it was not a good time. It was a bad time. So you wake up and you remember this.
What time is it right now? Is this me like waking up in the middle of the night or?
I mean, you have pretty fitful sleep throughout the night, but this is like the morning of that next day. You wake up
Okay.
and you just you feel kind of shitty because you had terrible sleep, and you just kind of vividly remember this this dream that you had.
Okay. So Maz in her pajamas, right? Which is really just like a bunch of clothes that she's stolen from other people.
Yes, that tracks.
So good.
Is like crusty-eyed, looks like shit, and is like clinging to Ronka like a teddy bear, and like clinging to Scorch with her other arm, and just like staring off into the distance like she's seen the universe.
What the hell is wrong with you?
I have that dream.
Well, be careful. You're gonna give Scorch another bald spot.
No, like, you don't understand, Braz. Scorch, I had the worst nightmare, and I was standing in a field, and like, then there was water, and it just kept rising and rising, and I couldn't move, and I'm really short, and I couldn't swim because I can't swim in reality, so why would I be able to swim in a dream? Like, that's just absurd. And and then I drowned, and I woke up right before I died.
You're
Jesus.
you're saying you're telling all of this, and Scorch is there, and
Well, yeah, I was telling it to Scorch.
yeah, you're telling it to Scorch, and Scorch doesn't speak, but looking at Scorch, you kind of see like understanding in his eyes a bit, like he seems to sympathize.
Oh, Scorch, you're the only one who listens.
Get a grip on yourself.
All right, so we have that, and this next day here, we're still just kind of doing prep for the circus stuff. Things, the big top is up, and things are getting organized in there. Bleachers are being set up, and otherwise the day goes fairly normal. No new encounters with anybody in particular stopping by. And you go into another night, and everybody give me another will save.
I was really determined. Although, can I offer a possible suggestion?
Yes.
I think we should also roll Grotus's will saves for these nights.
That's fair.
Because then if he fails, we can tell Sam that Grotus had this dream.
That's true. Okay, let me roll Grotus's here real quick. Okay. All right. So the first night, Grotus had normal sleep, like the other folks, except for Roz. So this night, Honker and Grotus, you both wake up in the morning. You had a bit of a shitty time. Honker, do you normally dream?
To Android stream of electric sheep.
Exactly. This is, like, is this something that normally happens for you?
You want to know what Honker's dream is? All right, it's any ICP music video is like Honker's dreams. The fucking Dark Carnival, because like
Oh my god.
Honker lives circus, man. He's trying to make that shit happen, and like he's working
It's
day
just
and night.
circus 24/7 in there.
Yeah, yeah, but it's like the true Dark Carnival is in Honker's. He's a juggalo. We broke his secret out. He's a juggalo.
Yeah, yeah. You guys come busting into Honker's cart, and it's just every corner is just full of cases of Fago.
Yeah, like I had just wrote a note to myself to remind to like start trying to search out Fig. So
Oh man! All right, so Honker, you so you and Grotus, you wake up, you both have had a shitty night. And Honker, you're not really entirely sure what dreaming is, but you think about the circus a lot, and even when you sleep, and you didn't think about the circus last night, which was annoying, in a way. Uh, it was very different than your usual experience. So what you saw in your dream was you recall seeing what looked like an enormous, like, reptilian mouth filled with sharp teeth, and it was like just right in front of you, and doing that nightmare thing of just like opening really slowly, just like the whole nightmare is just this giant reptilian mouth just like slowly opening in front of you.
That doesn't sound fun at all. Honker's very grumpy the next morning because of this. And he tells, like, when Gort, is yawning at one point, like Honker's really jittery around Gort, and like he ends up telling Gort about his bad trip too. But like not when anybody else is around.
Scorch is
In
is
fact,
the party therapist.
Everybody has only told their
specifically,
dreams to the dog.
like waits until nobody's around and he casts Private Sanctum, which prevents scrying and everything, and then he tells Scorch about his bed.
All right, well, you relay your tale to Scorch, and again, like with Maz, Scorch doesn't speak, but it seems like he gets it. He been there, wherever
Ace,
that was.
Will you quit telling my wolf all your bad shit? He's gonna regret that I rescued him.
He's a good boy.
Unloading our trauma on his poor fucking
This dog.
animal
Old
that's slowly
dog.
growing more intelligent. Oh god.
The dog that's got his whole own pile of trauma that you guys rescued him from. Oh boy. All right. So
yeah, if I remember correctly, he was in a pretty horrible place when I rescued him.
he was, yeah. It was like he was stuck with like a cult.
And now he's bald.
And now he's bald. No.
That's the worst trauma.
All right. So with those, where we'll start next time is will be we'll put on the show that we got right here. So we've already done all the prep stuff. That's a lot of the way. So we can just get right into the show stuff next time. But yeah, you go into that with just these things in mind that have happened so far. We'll call that there for tonight.
You should probably someone make a note to tell Grotus about his dream.
Oh, don't worry. I have noted that Grotus streamed. Yes.
Okay.
Has to tell Scorch about it.
Yeah, and has to tell Scorch about it.
That's up to Grotus. Although it would be hilarious if just like unprompted with no context, Grotus told Scorch about it.
That would be really funny. Let's not tell him that that you guys tell your dreams to Scorch. We'll see.
How is he gonna know to do it then?
That's fair.
Party telepathy? I don't know.
Yeah, he just feels sympathetic. All right.
He just somehow knows that Scorch will understand.
Well, when Honker first said that he told Scorch, I don't know why I didn't hear Scorch. I heard like a weird name, and it took me a minute to realize who the hell you were talking about. I heard like Gork or something.
It kind of cut out right as he said Scorch. Yeah.
I was so confused at first.
Oh.
I'm like, who the hell is Gork?
I can't believe you guys forgot about Gork. He's been here the whole time. Whole campaign.
Since the beginning.
Yeah, since the beginning. He was this is the Mr. Poopy Butthole of the campaign. He was here the whole time. He's a dear friend. He almost died for you.
He gave you his kidney.
Yeah, he gave you his kidney.
You didn't need it, but you wanted it anyway, which was kind of weird.
He really thought you guys were his friends, and he just totally forgot.
He thought of you like family.
I didn't know who the hell he was. Never met him in my life.
Oh man, like that would be kind of I feel like there is some. I remember like seeing some post about like something like that where it's like, oh, that might be. Is that false Hydra thing? Yeah, that's the false Hydra thing. Yeah, where like the party gets gaslit.
I've done it. It was fun.
Yeah, that is a pretty cool one.
I did it to him for not taking notes.
Oh yeah.
Which campaign was that one?
Storm King's Thunder.
You were in that one, Moog, weren't you?
Yeah, that was the one that we blew up.
You exploded.
Yeah.
You blew the world up. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Still
still
angry
such a
about that.
that's still such a funny ass story.
It really is.
This is why I don't miss sessions.
And believe it or not, okay, that was the second time as a DM where I had to say, you did a thing that caused an explosion, and I need to run some numbers. So then hold the session.
I don't know if it's impressive or concerning that that was not the first time.
Because the other one was like they had found it was a different campaign. They had found a fucking it was a still like a still setup in a medieval monastery, and it had like decided to set it off as an explosion because there were like cultists on one side, but the monastery was set up in such a way that yeah, there were cultists there that had reached a tacit agreement of like non-aggression with a lit on the other side of the fucking wall. And so like I had to go research like how big of an explosion does the still make, and like would that damage a medieval monastery wall enough to piss off a fucking lich? And yeah.
Oh man.